What is good, everybody? Today we are reacting to Jackson finally arrested for a brutal attack. I actually haven't heard much since that last thing that happened with him. Like when they said Psycho Stu was inside the hospital and then he got out. I don't even know if Rampage has been streaming or anything. I was wondering, I'm like, what happened to him? Like, what happened to not Rampage but Raja? I was a little confused, but let's get straight into this video.
She been comment me.
What's poppin', y'all? Raja Jackson, the son of Rampage Jackson, former UFC fighter, has finally been arrested for the incident that happened nearly a month ago.
Is anybody happy for that? Or are people like, he deserves it, he don't deserve it? I don't know, let me know.
At a wrestling event. Now, this situation started prior to the situation. Raja Jackson was sparring, and he's streaming as well, had been streaming, and he got head kicked really hard. He wobbled a little bit and he was concussed from it. And during that time, while he was recovering from the concussion, he was out and about streaming. He finds himself at this wrestling event, and at the wrestling event, someone comes up to him, and this guy, Psycho Stu.
That was the beginning of the end right there. That was literally the beginning of the end. He took this a little too serious.
The big beard, and he hits him on the head with a empty beer can. And
he has a concussion though, right?
He gets really angry. Raja Jackson gets really angry, and people break it up. And Psycho Stu apologizes. The wrestler that hit him with that, he thought he was part of the set, or he thought he was part of what was going on. They tell Raja Jackson that he's allowed to go in the ring and get his get back. They're like, yo, you can get your get back. You're allowed to go in the ring and get your lick back. So he goes in the ring and he takes the guy down, part of like a wrestling move, and he hits him, and he keeps hitting him, and he absolutely brutalizes him until they rip.
Okay, you guys should see the video. He picked him up, slammed that nigga on the floor, and his head hit the floor or whatever, the mat, and then he started just laying it on him like this, just blood. But people are watching this happen, and he's just going, and then they're like, all right, back up. That's how it was. It wasn't just he didn't want to move it and started hitting him in the face. Nah, he was like, actually, he's a real fighter, and he's going up against a fighter that doesn't even know it's about to be a real fight. You know what I mean?
Him off of the guy, Psycho Stu, and that guy's older. He looks to be in his late 30s, maybe early 40s, maybe even mid 40s, and the guy's teeth were not, people thought that he was dead, laid out dead. And
yeah,
Raja Jackson would be yelling and say, yeah, you know, like, people aren't gonna mess with me. And he was recently arrested. The people weren't sure what was going to happen. People thought that it was attempted murder. People were hoping for this guy to survive, and he did. He got out, but he got arrested for a felony, on a felony charge, and it was $50,000 bond. So he's currently still behind bars, probably overnight. He'll most likely bond out today by the time this video comes out, and we're set to see what happens from here. I personally thought that he wouldn't be charged. I didn't think that Psycho Stu would press charges, but maybe it's the police that decided that from what.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it's Psycho Stu.
They had enough to arrest him and charge him with something. We don't know his official charge yet. We just know that it's a felony, as reported by TMZ. And this has to be a really tough time for Raja Jackson. I know a lot of people don't feel any sympathy for him whatsoever and think he's just this brute that's out to kill. And like I said previously,
I don't think he's a brute that's out to kill. I do think that he does need to learn how to control his emotions and his anger, though. He seems like one of those people, and I don't understand why a lot of fighters don't know how to do that. Maybe that's why they get into fighting, but you low-key got to be able to control that. Because, gang, you could have killed somebody. You wouldn't imagine you going to a WWE match to just watch, and your ass ends up in it and arrested for 30+ years. That's him. That's the type of emotion you got to be able to control. No matter what you do, any sport, any field, whatever, you got to be able to control your emotions.
In the previous video, I don't think that's the case.
I don't think he's a killer, but like, his emotions will make him accidentally.
Once he was hit over the head with that beer can, he would have just launched into violence, and he would not have taken time to process it. But his father had called him after he saw that clip, and his father, Rampage Jackson, was on the call with him and telling him, like, man, son, you're not going to let people punk you like that. What's going on? So I think that really amped up Raja Jackson reason for him to go in there. And
His dad didn't say that. All his dad did was not take it serious. Like, we all saw he was frustrated. His dad just saw the clip and started trolling, like, you let a guy with tights try and pressure you? He said, anybody in tights surround you? Like, all this and that. And his son is all serious, like, all right, whatever, and whatever. So he didn't say, like, don't let them punk you, but he was like, maybe I'm wrong, but what I remember is he was just, like, not really being there for his son. But that's their dynamic.
that's why it's really sad when we would find out that Rampage Jackson had cut off Raja Jackson and was not speaking to him this was on September 3rd. So for weeks, he would not speak to his own son when he's awaiting the hardest moment of his life. Now, he was already concussed. He brutalized that guy. He doesn't know if he's going to get arrested or not. The entire internet hates him. They hate him, and he brought out the worst of the internet. Like, he brought out racists, people that are white supremacists, and then, you can't imagine what they're calling him, the death threats that he's receiving. So in an interview with Ariel Helwani, he asks Rampage Jackson about why he's not talking to his son, and I'm gonna play you guys that clip right now.
Are you at all worried about his well-being?
Yeah, it's my son. I am worried about his well-being. How many kids you got?
I got 3.
All right, so why you acting stupid?
Well, can I be real with you?
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it would feel like to see my son do that. I also don't think I would cut my son off if he did that. So, if you are worried about his well-being, why are you not talking to him?
Did he say he wasn't talking to him? Because how does he know?
He dishonored my name, and
But he's still your son.
Listen. I know he's my son. I'm not cutting him off for forever. I just haven't talked to him.
But this is the worst moment of his life. He needs you now more than ever.
Okay, that's true. But that's not your son, gang.
Now, listen, I talked to him after this happened, and he hid the fact that he did this, and he put my other kids at danger based off what the other people said, and I just can't talk to him right now.
Okay, so after the fact, he might be saying things happen that we don't know. We just think that he smacked them and almost died, and he's like, all right, let me not talk to you no more, because what are you doing? But he's sitting here saying he put his other kids in danger. Maybe people were talking crazy. He was like, pull up to my house or pull up here. Or, you know what I mean? And his other family is there or stuff. Like, he's putting people in danger. He's like, all right, you made a bad decision. A very easy bad decision that you didn't have to make. And then now you're making follow-up bad decisions. So, you know what I mean? It's like, you can't bail him out of everything, regardless of whatever position he's in life.
I just can't. I'm not saying I'm never going to talk to him again. I just can't talk to him right now. I need some time. I'm dealing with his attorneys and all this, but I'm very disappointed in Roger. Like, yeah, I'm not a perfect parent, so I don't know what's the protocol to how much time you stop from talking to your son when he goes out there and hurt somebody. He put a guy in a hospital.
Rampage is certainly right to be disappointed in him, and I'm a little bit
he's a
confused
bad
with
dad.
the part where he says he tried to hide that he did that when we all saw it on video. I don't know how that could be hidden, but I think he has, and he says like he really disappointed him and he dishonored his name, and I would understand if he distanced himself from it, but it's almost as if he was agitated to do that because you were disappointed in him when you called him for somebody playing with his name or disrespecting him and not to let people disrespect him. And that type of talk, especially from an authority figure that he looks up to, whether it could even be a coach, but in this case it's his father who he likely idolizes. He looks at you as a legend. Many people look at Rampage as a legend that are fighters that aren't even his son, so imagine you're his son as well, and then him getting cut off after that, I think that's got to be heartbreaking for Raja Jackson. And Rampage, he also wanted some accountability to be taken by Psycho Stu and the organizers, and I'm a
Son or not, bro's 25 years old. Concussion or not, I've known niggas with I've known football players with CZE that have better emotional control than him. If he gets cut off, then he gets cut. We're sitting here making it like he's like 17 and his dad, he did something wrong and his dad's not talking. Your dad needs you. There's a lot of 25-year-olds on their own that go through certain things alone that is close to worse than this, regardless of anything, and they don't have money, and they're doing fine. Why are we sitting here
Play you
like,
guys this clip right
I
now.
don't know.
You know, where would we be if Roger would have killed that man? Where would we be? Thank
Exactly.
God Psycho Stu.
It's like if he would have passed away and he was trying to be the, it's okay, yeah, people would be like, actually, it's not okay. Actually, so when it's this way, people are like, why are you not? Maybe it's a middle ground. I don't know. Let me know.
You know what I'm saying? Pull through. You know, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I stopped listening to the attorneys. I got really upset with all the death threats and all this stuff. And I wanted Psycho Stu to tell his part that my son did not sneak up on him. And I never heard him say that. So now I'm upset. Now I'm upset with Psycho Stu because he didn't come out and say, oh, whoa, yeah, what Roger did was up, but he didn't sneak in the ring and do this. It's staged. That's all he had to say to get some of these racist motherfuckers out of my DMs. Hey, he's seeing all this how it blew up and stuff like that. He should at least said something.
Okay.
Take some accountability. Like honestly, none of everybody was wrong. Roger was the most wrong. Everybody was wrong, but none of this ever would have happened.
And that's true, because Raja was the like 90% of it, or like 85%. The wrestler, Psycho, he caused it, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And then he's lying after the fact. His friend, Raja's friend, who in the middle, so he got hit with a can. This is where he almost killed him. In the middle, his friend told Raja, you know the guy who hit you? Go back in there and give him a receipt. Now, a receipt means you like maybe hit him once or twice and let him feel the punch. But for someone who's not in that culture, that job, he's not a wrestler. So he said, get a receipt. He said, make sure you tag his ass. Now, I don't know about you, but tagging is not some soft shit. Tag is like, oh, he tagging his ass. That means you get some real licks in it right on the chin. You know what I mean? So him thinking that and doing it, there's more than just him that was wrong. He didn't have to do all that, and he didn't have to hold his emotions like that. But like, the people around him really did let him drown.
The Psycho Stu never hit my son on the back of the head with a can that they were drinking beer out of, and then grabbed him by the neck, asked him to sell it. If that never happened, none of it never happened. And the promoters was wrong for putting an outsider inside of
He's also
a
wrong.
wrestling match. Everybody's wrong. It's the dumbest thing I ever seen. It's a nightmare.
I do think Rampage Jackson has a point here. Now, what he's saying is that when this clip spreads around the internet and the amount of hate that he's getting, and for Rampage Jackson, someone whose humor is quite insensitive, he is not somebody that gets triggered lightly. So for him to use the word that like, yo, these racist people are all up on my stuff and they're harassing me and my other kids, I believe that it's probably worse things than you could possibly imagine that are being said to him and they're threatening him with, because the people that see the clip, they think that, oh, this guy just hopped out of his chair, went into the ring, and started wailing on the guy. And what Rampage is saying is like, yo, I would appreciate it if at least these guys said, no, we organized this as a skit. It was part of the show for him to go in. It just went a little bit too far. And that's the distinction that Rampage Jackson wants made. Psycho, and he's like, yo, Psycho Stu, if he had never hit my son over the head, this would have never happened either. And he is correct. Like this was a lot of
Yeah, but it's life though. You gotta be able to. It's like every time you're driving, you can't just, oh, it's green, I'm gonna go. You know what I mean? You have to still, when it turns green, look like this, because other people are gonna do things. They might run the red and you might get hit. Just because it's green doesn't mean go. Green means you can go. And you gotta treat it like that. Like your emotions in life, the way you are, things are going to happen and affect you. We all know this. Things are gonna happen and affect you, and you have to be able to control until it's clear, and then go. Can I get an amen?
Series of mistakes that built up to this explosive moment that ruined a lot of people's lives and or reputations. However, Rampage was also extending an olive branch. Like Psycho Stu, he had teeth knocked out. That's how brutally Raja had been putting hands on him. And he had gotten out
Shit.
healthy and okay from the
He
hospital.
getting veneers, huh?
Rampage had been collaborating, because Rampage has still been streaming this entire time, which I can't imagine how difficult that is for him, because he's still got to be entertaining and put on a show for all of the people watching him whilst going through this. So he has to act out a lot more. But he's been collaborating with this dentist, this cosmetic dentist, and getting people's teeth fixed and stuff like that. And what he did is he wanted to cover the teeth for Psycho Stu. So I'm gonna play you guys that clip right now.
Can I nominate an American to get his smile back? Yeah. His name is Psycho Stu. I pay for that out of my pocket. You the man. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. I'm waiting for him to call me back.
Okay, sure thing. Just let me know.
And it's unfortunate
Damn.
because the racist people that had so much to say about Rampage Jackson and just want to label him and his son as these people that are
His face, bro. You can tell by his face he looked like let down and embarrassed that he got to do it. It's almost like you got to do an ad, but you know, like you got to do something nice for somebody. Like, I can't explain it. I know you. Just look at his face. Look at his face.
And just want to label him and his son as these people that
He's
are
like-
uncivilized and can't like function in regular society, and they're
Almost like if he
violent
could
and
choose
this and
not
that.
to be
They're not
here,
gonna
he
talk
wouldn't
about
be there.
this. They're not going to spread this clip around. They're not going to show that Rampage actually feels bad about how this entire situation turned out, and so much so that he's not just jumping to his son's defense. Like, that's the easy thing for somebody to do. Like, my son was right, you were wrong, you shouldn't have done that, you would have known better. No, he's disappointed in his son, so much so that he cut his son off, which people disagree with that approach as well. But he's not going to sit there and say that that guy had no involvement in agitating the situation and what eventually
Like, what the
happened
fuck are you
to
doing,
from his
psycho?
son and the people at the event.
And then this right here is the guy who told him to go and tag his shit. And then there was
And
also
the
the
person that-
Samoan dude. Yep, right here. He told him to tag it.
Encouraged Roger Jackson to get in there and hit him if he wanted to get his get back for the situation. So I think, unfortunately, this just turned out poorly. But the part that I
And then the Samoan guy is the one who brought up the idea, let him join your match. You're going to go in there and join his match. How you want to do that? So they're all just wrong. And then the fake Vince McMahon, the GM or whatever, should have said, nah, he can't go in the ring. He not trained.
found really odd was when he said Roger Jackson should do some time. I'm gonna play you guys that clip right now.
All that, Roger, I think that he should do a little time,
Oh,
do a little community service,
ooh.
and go to anger management class, see some therapy.
You are telling your son to go to anger management. Your name is Rampage. We've seen clips of you, Rampage Jackson. And your son has that same rampage. If that, can you use it like that? He didn't want to go to therapy. He didn't want to go to anger management. We remember you back in the day. But now your son got to. I mean, I guess that's how it works, right? You get whatever your issues are in your kids, or however that goes.
That goes like some people said it was attempted murder and things like that. That's not a little
No.
time.
It wasn't attempted murder because he wasn't trying to kill that guy.
How do you know?
Because I that's my son. I know my son.
Yeah, he knows his son.
Roger wasn't trying to kill nobody. He wasn't trying to kill that. He wasn't trying to kill the guy. Roger probably didn't even know how bad he hurt that guy. He wasn't trying to kill the guy.
He didn't because he blacked out.
The problem is everything got blown out of proportion, and people thought that Roger snuck into the ring and did that. That's what the problem is. Like you know, at this point, Roger was in the act as a pro wrestler, but he ain't no pro wrestler. The promoters had no reason putting my son in that ring. So, but it was no attempted murder.
I think that's a really tough thing to say as a father, and I think that's a really tougher thing to hear as his
Yeah.
son. Because keep in mind, the only thing that he's hearing from his father, because he's not talking to him, is
He deserves
via
some
social
time.
media. So he's hearing that he's got to do time and community service. This is a really hard situation because when I kind of don't want Roger Jackson to sit there and do time, but I'm thinking, if Psycho Stu was very, very close to me, a close friend or family, would my emotions cause me to feel different about Roger Jackson doing time? And I think it would. That's why it's so hard for me to say whether he deserves time or not. But the attempted murder that they were saying would potentially come down the pipeline did not happen. Ariel Helwani said, oh, like they're saying it's attempted murder. He's like, nah, it's not attempted murder, because he just caught a felony. If it was attempted murder, we would have heard about it. So it's probably just like felony assault or something like that. But it would be his first offense. I just wouldn't want the guy to have a criminal record, because the guy's not a criminal. From what we've seen, he's 25 years old. If the guy was a criminal, he would have had a criminal record by then. So it's really more of the record than the punishment, the way that I look at it. And him doing a little community service,
I think by time, they mean
because when
he
gets
means
angry, he
maybe
really
like
gets angry. And I think
a
the way that
few
his father
months
looks at
or something
him
like that, a few
has
weeks
a lot to do with
or
how
something like that, and
angry
then community
he gets.
service for
But
like
you guys let me know what you
15
think about this
months
in the
or something
comments.
like that.
Like, subscribe, and hit the
11
notification bell
months,
if you enjoyed.
some
And I'm gonna see
crazy.
y'all in the
But appreciate y'all for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Check out my other videos. I have a playlist, a scary one, and I have a body cam video or a playlist. So check those out down below. Appreciate y'all for watching. See y'all in the next one. Peace.